Hi everybody. So, looking on, it's kind of crazy, For years I played the harmonica and paid no attention to scales. I mean, I did when I began, kind of. Actually, when I was into it for a few years. But then I forgot all about it, especially during the time I played with Burnside and all these other country blues players. I just played the harmonica. I didn't think about it. I knew there were, pressure notes, like they call it the 5 flat. It's a pressure note. I knew there were blue notes, of course. But now that I'm not gigging, I'm digging more into scales again and stuff. So there's all kinds of different. People call them different. I mean, they're definitely scales that have an official name in the music world, but people call them different things too. I've been noticing. So when I refer to the blues scale, it's basically, well, it is not basically, it's the minor scale, like what you play third position harmonica in. But also, you can play that. Uh, you don't have to play it just in third position. You can play it. Dennis Grunling calls it sort of in between. That scale is kind of an in between. So you can use a. If you're playing, for instance, in the blues scale in the E, and this piano is a half step higher, so you guys should be in E if you're playing a harmonica. It's the 1, the flatted third, the 4, sorry, the 1, the flatted third, let's see, the 5, the 4 rather, the flatted 5, the 5, and the flatted 7. So again, it's the 1, the flatted third, the 4, flatted 5, the 5, no, the flatted 7, back to the 1, flatted 7, 5, flatted 5, 4, flatted third, 1. Okay, so that's what I was reading. It's called a minor blues scale. All right, now, okay, so now I was reading. Now I'm just trying to remember what's what here. Okay, um, the pentatonic minor scale, using that same thing, is, as I recall, is the 1, the flatted third, the 4, 5. So there's 5 notes in the pentatonic scale. The 1, that's the first note. Flatted third is the second note. 4 is the third note. 5 is the fourth note. And then the flatted 7 is the fifth note. So it goes the 1, the flatted third, the 4, the 5, 1, 3, 4, 5 for 4 notes, and then the flatted 7 for the fifth note, back to the 1. Okay, the only difference in that is not having that flatted fifth. Okay, so that's the minor pentatonic scale. The major pentatonic scale is the 1, the 3, the 4. Okay, again, 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. That's 5 notes. So the 1, the natural third, the 4, the 5, and then the major 7th. The 1, the 3, the 1, the 3, the 4, the 5, natural 7th, 1. Okay, that's the major pentatonic. Now, the blues scale is just, well, I thought the blues scale was the 1, the flatted third, the 4, the flatted 5, the 5, the flatted 7th, and then back to 1. But when you look at the Wikipedia, it says, well, blues scale it has this in it. It makes total sense because I use it all the time on the piano lid. You know. It has a 6 in it. So anyway, so I'll do the what they call the major blues scale now. So that's the 1, the 2, the 3, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 5, the 6, 1 again, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 5. So that's 4 notes. 1, the 2, the 3, the 5. That's 4 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one more note for the 6, which is like, that's actually in a different key, but it's because it's hard for me to do. It's hard for me to actually, I take that back. Okay, so that's that in E, you know. So I'm using the 1, the 2, I mean the 3, actually that's the minor third, but I'm sliding it down. The 3, the 5, the 6, and this 1 again. So the 1, and it's something I've used all the time, but it just didn't occur to me that it was the scale. So it's, again, the 1 for the major, what they call the major blues scale according to the Wikipedia. The 1, the 2, the 3, the 5, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 5, the 6, back to the 1. 1, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6. 1. 1, 6, 5. 1, 6, 5. 1, 6, 5, 5. Sorry. 3. 1, 1, 6, 1, 6, 5. I'm having a hard time with this. Sorry. The 1, the 2, the 1, the 1, the 2. Okay, the 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It's just hard for me to transition that a little bit from what I've been working on with the blues scale. So anyway, it's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1. I always make things more difficult, you know, than they really have to be. It's just very simple. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1 could be more simpler. 1, 2, 3. Skip the 4 and go to the 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 5. 5, 6, 1. It's just, we're calling out the notes and at the same time the number, what's, you know, what's actually being played. So the 1 is on the 1. The 3 is a full step to the 3. The 5, 1. See, I always miss that 2 because I keep forgetting that 2's in there. The 1, the 2, 1 step, another step to the 3, and skip the 4 and go to the 5, and then go to the 6, and back to the 1. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Forget the 4. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1. So that's the major blues scale according to the Wikipedia. The minor blues scale in that is the 1, the 2, the flat 3, the 5, 6, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5. Just one. So that flatted 6 doesn't work there. So it's 1, 2, flatted 3, 5, 6. Flatted 3, 5. Now if I did it like that, if I did that flatted 6, it would sound like this. That would be like one that going backwards. It would go with the flatted 6. If I used the flatted 6, it would sound like this. And you could do that, but that's not the right. But technically, it's not right. It's the 1, the 2, the flatted 3, the 1, the 2, the flatted 3, the 5. So instead of add that flatted 3rd in there. Which is exactly what I was doing. Again, making it too hard. So if I go that's all that is, that flatted 3rd. So without that flatted 3rd, it's just some, that doesn't have that. So you could do that, it sounds cool, but if you add that flatted 3rd, you have this, and the harmonic is the same thing. But if you slide it down, so you want to flat that 3rd to get that. See, that's that 4th doesn't sound good in there. That's why you have the 5 and not the 4. once again, repeating it, the major blues scale, according to the Wikipedia, is the 1, the 2, the 3, the 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1 note, second note, third note, fifth note, sixth note, back to the 1. The minor blues scale is the 1, the 2, the 3, the 5, the 6, and the 1. Okay, that's the minor and the major blues scale. Now, the pentatonic minor is the 1, the 2, the 1, the 3, the 4, 5, 1, flat a third, 4, 5, 1, first note, second note, third note, fourth note, fifth note, back to the 1. 1, flat a third, 4, 5, flat a 7. So the first note is the 1, the second note is flat a third, the third note is the flat is the 4, the fifth note is the fourth note. The first note is the 1 on the E, and then you have the flatted third, the flatted G, the 1, the first note, the second note, which is flatted third, the third note is the 4, the fourth note is the 5, the fifth note is the flatted 7. Okay, that's the minor pentatonic again. Major pentatonic. 1, 3, 4, 1, the third, 1 to the 3, 1 to the 3, which is the second note, 1 to the 3, to the 4, to the 5, to the 7, back to the 1. So that's on the 1, on the 3, on the 4, on the 5, on the 7. 7, 1, the 1, the 3, 4, 5, 7, back to the 1. And the notes you're counting is the first note, the third note, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But again, it's the 1, the 2, the 1, the 3, the 4, 5, 7, 1. Now that's the major pentatonic. So the minor pentatonic again is the 1, flat of 3, 4, 5, flat of 7, 1, flat of 7, 5, 4, flat of 3, 1, the first note, the third note, the first note, the third note, the fourth note, the fifth note, the first note, the second note, the third note, the fourth note, and the fifth note. Those are the 5 notes, and they are the 1, flat of 3, 4, 5, flat of 7, 1. It sounds maybe a little confusing because there's 5 notes, so I'm counting that's 1 note, that's the second note, that's the third note, that's the fourth note, that's the fifth note for the 5, pentatonic 5. Okay, but it's the 1, the 3, the 4, the 1, the 3, the 4, the 5, flat of 7, and back to the 1. Okay, so I'm taking a drink for a second. And then we go back to where I think we start. I think I started on what I understand that when I was heard the blues scale and what's played in when it's referred to the blues scale. And like I said, Dennis Grumman referred to this as sort of a scale in between minor and major. But we have the 1, the typical, the blues scale, the 1, the flatted 3rd, the 4, flatted 5, 5, flatted 7, 1. So the difference is we have that extra flatted 5, the pressure note, which if you're playing cross harp on a harmonica, that's when you bend down that the 4-hole draw. And let's see if you can get it when you're doing it when you're playing. Let's see, let's see when you're doing it in up the register. Well, you can I'll deal with that later in the video with the harmonica. I have one right in front of me. So, but for sure, the typical thing when people play cross harp and you get that, even if you don't know the scales, you bend that 4th note draw, and that, but if you do it purposely, it's kind of cool because you're drawing on you're blowing your 3rd note, or you're drawing your 2nd note for the 1, and you're doing your licks and stuff like that, and then you go to the 4, and you're doing whatever you're doing, and then and it's cool if you can figure out purposely where to blow or where to put those pressure notes, which is just I guess all notes that are minor notes could be considered pressure notes, but in particular, especially for like when you go to the 5 and the 12-bar blues and the cross harp, that's why it sounds so cool when you do that pressure note, because you're drawing the 4th note, and then you're bending it down, blowing the 4th note. And then also, in first position, you can also like draw that 4th note too, and blow the 4th note for the 5 and the 4. It's kind of cool. It's just different because you're in first position. So, and that's because it works because you're drawing in first position on the 7, and you're when it goes down in terms of the key that you're in. So anyway, I'll do that with the harmonica, another video. But the bottom line is that when you hear the blues scale, it's the 1. In terms of the real blues scale is according to the Wikipedia. But when the blues scale, commonly referred to as the blues scale, is that 1, flatted 3, 4, flatted 5, 5, flatted 7, 1. And that leaves out the 2 and the 6. It leaves out this note, and this note. So that, which is the 6 and the 2. But then, of course, you can mix it up, because then you have your blues scale like that. You can go. That's just going up chromatically once you hit the 2. If you go up totally chromatically, 2 there, hitting I'm hitting the 1, the natural third, then I'm hitting the 1, the natural third, the flat third, and then 2. And that's the 6th. That's a 3. So, obviously those notes can be used, the 2, the 6, along in that typical blues scale, what we hear as the blues scale, But you have to be careful, of course. You can't just throw in any old note anywhere. I mean, but you probably will, because most people do. I mean, here and there, you get some experimenting. It's just part of it. And then the more you experiment, the less mistakes you make after you. But if you want to start a song out like that, that's using that 2 and the 6 there. That's a 6, and that's the 5. Yeah, it starts in the 1, going to the 3, the flatted 3, the 2, the 1, and the 6, the 5. And that's that flatted 3rd, 3rd. That's flatting the 3rd, flatting the 3rd, the 3, back to the 5, 6. So, play around with all that stuff and have a great time with it. I just wanted to use the piano to get this across, to try to explain, and get out of my system, what. There's tons of scales, all kinds of, Nickelodeon, I don't know, there's all kinds. Here we have Zatarain's crab boil. There's probably a scale called Zatarain's crab boil. If not, let's make one up. I've had this for so many years. I used to live in New Orleans, and I got this last time I was there, which was way back in 2003, and I haven't had crabs in so many years. Well, yes, that's not true. We get, out here on the West Coast, I get Dungeness crab. We get Dungeness crab. Maybe next time we get Dungeness crab. That reminds me, I use this, because we get different kind of crabs when I lived in New Orleans. I mean, fishing crabs, the water crabs, not the other kind. This is really good stuff. Highly recommend it. You can get it at any store, but I just happened to buy it in New Orleans when I was there last. But anyway, the point is that obviously you go to the Wikipedia these days, you can find out anything you want on the scales, but still, to try to keep it as simple as possible. I mean, it can sound so confusing, and different positions of different things, but everything is related, in music. I'm beginning to find out. The circle of fifths, you know, you have your 1, the 5. No, that. So that's a circle of fifths. And you have all these things in between, and there's tons of stuff to read in music theory, but don't let it scare you. Like, in my opinion, with blues, the stuff we do, and not just blues, but any kind of music, really, at least as far as I'm concerned, I'm generally sticking in what I'm trying to teach and what I'm trying to learn more of, is these are the basic scales, like the blues scale, the which is, so to speak, the blues scale that I always knew. Then the other blues scale, you know, which has got the the major blues scale, the 1, the 3, the 4, 5. Well, that's the pentatonic scale, but the major blues scale is it has that extra 2. See, I keep wanting to do that 4, which is in the other blues scale, but 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay, that's what they call the blues scale. Again, 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Back to the 1. Alright, and again, that's different than the pentatonic major blues scale, which doesn't add that 2, or that 6. So that's why the pentatonic blues scale, major blues scale, is the 1, the 3, the 4, 5, the 7, and the 1. So it doesn't have the 2 and the 6 in it. Again, I repeat, 1, it has the 1, the 3, like the other blues scale, the 1, the 3, it's missing the 2, 1, 3, it's missing the 4 here, and it goes 1, 1, 1, 3. Pentatonic blues, rather, the pentatonic major blues scale is the 1, the 3, the 4, 5, 7, 1. Whereas the major whole blues scale is the 1, the 2, the 3, 5, 6. So anyway, if we work on just those scales that I've recorded here, and it's going to take some time to get it all straight, so just do it one at a time. You know, just practice that. Whatever you pick up in this thing, and practice that. It's whatever, go from what I guess go in the order or go whatever order you want to go in, but I would advise you to go, and the first of all is practice that. What we commonly hear is the blues scale in the minor scale, and then go to what Wikipedia says is the blues scale. But mainly we're talking about the blues scale with the flatted 5 in it, the pentatonic blues scale with the 5 notes in it, which has which is minor, major, and then the other blues scale. When you look up in the Wikipedia, what's the blues scale, it says, you know, which has the 2 and the 6 in it, and not the 4 and not the 7. So here in this video, I guess we talked about 5 scales. Is that right? Well, you can count them and tell me, but I think that's right. The typical blues scale, then what we hear, the minor, which is calls up the minor blues scale, and then the major, other kind of blues scale, which has the major scale in it, okay, that's the major blues scale, according to what the Wikipedia says, and then again the minor blues scale. Those are the 5 notes. The E, the G in the scale of D, E, G, E, the pentatonic. I take that back. It is the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, 1, the 2, the flatted third, 1, the 2, the flatted third, third up here, the 5, and the 6. So we have that in there. The only thing difference between that blues scale and the major is it has that flatted third instead of the. It has that. Okay, so we have those 2 scales. That's the blues scale and the pentatonic, like I said before, which is just the without the 2. It goes to the 3 pentatonic major blues. And it has the 1, the 3, the 4, the 5, and the 7. Sorry. That's enough. The 1, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 7. So that's it, Again, with the pentatonic minor, it's the same thing, but just with I just have a little trouble myself with just remembering it, to leave the 2 and the 6 out of stuff. But again, when it all comes down to it, practicing the scales individually is great, and then not worrying about it. Once you practice the things, including this other scale, or practice that too. So I guess that's a total of 6 scales. That's just chromatically, major notes of the harp. The same thing you get taught when you first start piano lessons. And if you do it chromatically with overblows, So I hope this piano is some help with the practicing with it. I know it's a little off tune. But anyway, it's weird. I've been doing this now a little while, just not that long, just a couple of years, and of course I don't know you guys out there. I mean, I'm familiar with a few people that write me comments, and I really appreciate that. And then somebody I haven't heard from, they'll write a comment, and I'll think, oh, that's cool. Or I'll get another subscriber. I mean, it's slow going. I almost have 500 subscribers, but I'm not worried about that. I'm just concerned if anybody can get something out of this, I'm grateful. And I'm almost 68, and I've had an interesting life, somewhat, in music. Some of it has been a real drag, too, dealing with the business part of it, especially. But I met some pretty cool characters out there, and had some really good times, and some really horrible times, like everything in life. But the music itself has always been what's driven me back to it. I mean, just that. It's the music, man. Alright, y'all have a fine morning, evening, day, night, wherever you're at. Have fun with this. So long, y'all.